I recently celebrated my 5-year anniversary on YouTube. I posted my first video on June 28th of 2020. So, kind of like a few months into the pandemic. I had been on social media prior to that, I guess my online persona for Bricks and Giggles. Initially, I had started an Instagram account, I think in November of 2019. And I had a TikTok around that time as well. And I had only just started posting myself. Usually I was posting videos or content of things that did not include myself in them. And then I decided to give it a shot and it started going over really well. And a lot of people said I should start a YouTube channel. So after a few months of convincing, I decided to do that. And now here we are. 5 years later. Time really does fly, but I've just gone through so much stuff in that time. And I know some people are brand new here. Like a big portion of you all are actually brand new in the last year. Probably over half of my following is brand new in the last year. So I don't know how much people go back and look at old content. So some of this may be repetitive if you've been here for years, but if you're one of the new people who hasn't gone back and watched a lot of my old videos, then some of this reminiscing may be new to you all. And when I started this channel, the first video I did, I believe was a speed build of the Guarded Inn, and I was so terrified to talk on camera. So I think I basically just introed it. I may have said 1 or 2 sentences at most about what I liked about the set, and then I just built it on camera, and then I spun it around on a Lazy Susan, I believe. I think I've privated that video now. I have privated a lot of my very early stuff. It obviously still exists, but it's not worth having on the internet anymore. But everyone has to start somewhere. So that's what I did. And I did a couple months of just building sets on camera, and I might say 1 or 2 sentences like, welcome to the channel, this is the name of the set, the year it came out, that kind of thing. And then I didn't speak again for the rest of the video. And I think there are still a few of those up that I haven't removed. Unless I remove them before I upload this video, we'll see. But things have changed so much in that time. I don't really do a ton of set reviews anymore. I know some people still want them, and probably after this year, I'll get back to doing some more of those. This year has just been because of the building of the Lego World thing. I don't have as much time to do set reviews before I take them over to the Lego World. But yeah, that's really how it started. And I just remember when I first started making little short form videos for TikTok and my YouTube videos as well, how much I had to work myself up to just hit publish to post those videos. And now sometimes I do the silliest, goofiest things and I don't even think about it before I post them. Yeah, now I just record something I think is funny or fun or is for my own enjoyment, and I upload it, and if the internet likes it, then I'm happy. If they don't, time passes anyways, and life is still good. What's pretty cool right now is, when you start your YouTube channel, well, actually I take this back. I don't know how it works now. When I started my YouTube channel, you had to get 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours before you could get monetized, and I think I did it in around 10 months, and now I generally get 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, usually at least, in a single month. I always love tracking progress for certain things, and that's been so cool to see, how drastically things changed. I was looking at some old goals I'd made from 2022, and I was like, oh, if I could get, I think it was 150 new subscribers in a month and 500 watch hours. Those were my goals for January of 2022. And now my goals are about, 10 times as much. It's not in an ungrateful kind of way. It's just I'm always pushing myself to try and do more and be better and that kind of thing. So it's pretty fun to be able to see how that has, like I said, so drastically changed over the course of 5 years. I don't really go back and watch a lot of my old YouTube videos, but every so often I'll see an old thumbnail. Someone will comment on one of my videos from years ago and how much the thumbnails have changed, how much I've changed. I was 28 years old when I started my channel and now I'm 33. It's kind of cool to have watched myself grow up. I always tell people that, you should photograph yourself as much as possible, record yourself as much as possible, because once the day is gone, you can't get it back. And so having all of this footage for the last 5 years to be able to look at how my hair has changed. I've gone through every hair color imaginable. I've done so many different things with my makeup in that time. It's just really cool to be able to see all of the changes. And I feel like unless you're someone who has like a ton of friends and you're going out all the time and you're doing stuff together and everybody's really into taking photos, maybe people don't tend to take as many photos. Or like if you're married and you have kids, you're taking pictures of the kids, but maybe not yourself or something like that. So, you know, recording little videos here and there I think is always great so that you have that footage of yourself to be able to look back on. I know some people may think in 5 years, 22,000 subscribers, I think is amazing. I'm so happy with the community I've built here. You know, some people can get 1 million subscribers in 6 months or something outrageous, but I've never been like a stereotypical YouTuber. I've always been very introverted, very quiet. So if you were looking for, you know, I guess what I always thought of was like a stereotypical YouTuber. They're usually, you know, they're a little more loud, kind of big personality, that kind of thing. I'm not going to be the person for you. Also, pretty much the majority of the stuff I'm doing is vintage Lego. If you're looking for content on new Lego, I very rarely do that. So again, a little more niche, but I don't think there are quite as many women in Lego that talk about vintage Lego. They're definitely out there. I follow a few of them, but I like being a voice for that community since it doesn't feel like there's quite as many. You know, you have LAN and stuff like that where there are a lot of great women promoting current Lego. So I've made videos on that before, how that's not my interest because I really prefer vintage stuff. Obviously, I get both, but I like being a voice for the vintage Lego community. So will my channel ever reach 1 million subscribers or even 100,000 subscribers? I don't know, but I'm going to continue enjoying the process and creating the content that I like, which I think people online really struggle with. I have noticed as my channel has gotten a little bit larger is how much more demanding people are. They feel very entitled to tell you what they want. And I don't want this to be like a rant in any way. You're allowed to comment, unfortunately, whatever you want on any video online. But like with my Lego world, that is my display and I am doing with it what I want to do with it. And I get so many people that tell me what they want to see in it, how I should be doing things. And I'm like, well, it's my display. It's my dream display. I'm just bringing you all along on the ride. But if you don't like it, then that means I'm not the channel for you. And I'm not going to change what I'm doing for like random commenters. In a weird way, my channel is for me. And I'm just happy to have anyone who wants to come see it be here. But yeah, everything I do is for myself and I just want to share it with other people. Obviously, people want to leave their feedback and that's fine. They can do that. I may see it, I may not see it, but I don't let it sway anything I do when it comes to my channel and my content because I just want to be authentically myself and do exactly what I love so that I can continue doing it for as long as possible. Because if you start giving in to what other people want, you're going to lose yourself along the way. So yeah, I just want to keep doing it the way I love it so that I can continue to love it. That's why I don't do a ton of like sponsored content, because the second I start taking on any of the alternate building block brands, you know, I get those companies reaching out daily wanting me to review their sets, but that's not me and I'm not going to promote that stuff for a check. Could be great, I don't know, but unless it has the Lego logo on it, unfortunately, I'm just never going to find out. So I've done some stuff like that, but only when I specifically get to pick the sets, authentic Lego sets, or I work with a brand that I've actually been buying from or using. So that way I can never say I was just promoting something for the money. Doesn't mean I make less, obviously, but it's just not something I'm willing to sell out for. And I'm not saying that other people do. I don't want it to sound like that either. I'm just saying I know for myself it would be strictly for the paycheck and I don't want to do that. So yeah, it's been a great 5 years. I've loved building this so far. I think that average lifespan of someone online is generally around 7 years. So I've definitely gone through times where I've been less motivated to create content and way more motivated. So I guess, you know, we've got another 2 years to see if I'll make it past the average 7-year mark. I think the cool thing about social media is, and particularly YouTube, is you can walk away from it and come back, and generally like 97% of your audience will still be there. I don't know if you've ever gone and looked at like any of these top YouTubers that quit out of nowhere, and you'll go to their channels and they still have 20 million subscribers. So even if at any point you take a hiatus, there's usually a really good chance that you'll be welcomed back at whatever point you choose to come back. But I don't foresee that happening anytime soon because I still truly love creating content, obviously building and buying Lego sets. So thank you all for watching. Thank you all for spending however much time you've been here. If you've been here for all 5 years, I'd love to know if anyone's been here for all 5 years. That'd be pretty cool. I do know a few names that I'm like, I've definitely seen those since really early on in my channel. But yeah, comment how long you've been here. I'd love to get an idea of how many people are new and how many people have been around for a few years or so. But again, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.